Hello everyone! So today I'm going to be talking you through how you train your implanted eyebrows. So after your eyebrow hair surgery, it can take up to 1 year for your eyebrows to fully grow through. However, you can expect to see hairs grow from as early as 3 months. And as soon as those hairs begin to grow, that's when you want to start training them. So I'm going to go over the techniques that I use to train my eyebrows during the day and some of the options that you can do during your nighttime routine. So training during the night. Can't get it out. There you go. Okay, so let's begin. I'm going to do one eye for the morning and one eye for the nighttime, just to keep things nice and simple for you. So if you don't know by now, I am like obsessed with KRYOLAN's Forming Eyebrow Gel. I really loved this gel during the first year of my implanted eyebrows growing through. I found it was the only gel that held my brows during the day and stuck them down to my skin. So the reason why I wanted them to stick down to my skin is because it really does help with kind of teaching and training your newly implanted eyebrows to grow in the direction that you want them to grow in. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I would apply this during the day. So this is my AM training technique. So I don't kind of style my brows like this anymore because I'm quite happy with how they lay now, and I don't necessarily always like the laminated stuck to the skin look. But if I do, I still do use this product sometimes. But definitely for training your eyebrows in the beginning, I recommend this gel. So you want to kind of get the product all through your brows. So you brush it up like that. And I have this technique basically that really gets the brow hairs to stick to the skin. So I would use the back end of an eyebrow eyeshadow. But I brought one for you, so it was my favorite one that I used to use, and it's just disappeared. How annoying. Oh, there it is. You can tell that this was my favorite one for training because of all the kind of glue, yuck, at the end of it. So after you've applied your eyebrow gel to your brow, it will get a bit tacky, and you want to kind of roll and hold. So I personally like my brows brushed up, that kind of brushed up laminated look. Direction is what I'm saying. So that's a direction I would kind of get them to lay in for training purposes, and then try and get it to stick to the skin. So what that's doing is kind of easing the scarring that may have formed during your healing. So scarring is when the incisions are made in your eyebrow. So pretend that's a needle. I'm just going to go in this way. There, it's got pierces the skin. Now inside that incision or recipient site, the hairs that are implanted eventually will grow out. But because of the scar tissue that may form in that incision, the brow hair that exits could lift a bit because of the scarring down here, if that makes sense. So what you want to do is kind of train the brows to lay as close to the skin as possible to ease that scarring that may have formed below. So we're forcing the hair's angle from the root to kind of ease that scarring, if that makes sense. Well, that's what I think. So that's pretty laid, as you can see. So I used to kind of adapt this style during the day. I would use, during the early days, if it was still really sparse, use some pencil. I still use some pencil sometimes. Use some pomade, whatever kind of brow styling background shader you like, that's what you can use. But remember, a good tip for kind of styling your implanted brows in the beginning is to keep a bit of length. So don't be scared of length. I know a lot of girls have reached out to me, and whether or not they've had a bad hair transplant, their first kind of go-to solution is to trim their eyebrow hairs really short. So that's when you have such short hairs, it's really difficult for the gel to kind of have anything else to stick onto. So I mean the hairs. So you want to try and keep length while they're training in your brows. Not like a crazy length, but enough length so that when you're kind of rolling and holding, the hairs have got other hairs to stick to, and they will all stick to your skin. So that is how I would train them and style them during the day. And sometimes I still do if I want this look. So yeah, that's my tip, is try not to trim them too short in the beginning. I know a lot of girls panic a bit and then they trim them so short, and that it makes it really difficult to style them and glue the hairs together. So that's my recommended day training technique. So my nighttime training technique, I did use this brow gel as well at night, and I did the exact same thing. The only thing that differed is that in the beginning, sometimes I would use some, like, it's microporous tape. Sometimes it's called Mysore or surgical tape. And again, I'm not going to use this right now because I want to show you something else. I would brush through the brow gel and use the same technique, which is a roll. You want to hold it there while those hairs stick to your skin, and you roll and hold, and it may take you a few times. Like, it's not, I remember sometimes I would have to start over again and just try again, just to get it in the right direction and the right angle that I wanted them to grow and lay in. So after I'd done that, I would, at night, this is my PM routine, my nighttime routine, sometimes I would then put tape. Okay, maybe I wouldn't do it this terribly, much shorter. I'm going to show you a bit better. So I would go like that, and you want it enough to hold that brow down. And the same at the end. So some people recommend a bandage, so like a bandage, but I just thought that would move around at night. I'm a tosser and turner, so I definitely knew that the bandage method wouldn't work for me. So this is what I would do sometimes. And then in the morning, just take it off and do your morning routine as usual. So that's one technique. The other technique that I wanted to show you was glue. Now I know some girls swear by using glue for their kind of day-to-day styling. It's not something that I've adopted. I'm quite happy with the brow gel. But I think this option is really great for a nighttime routine. So just make sure it's like a non-toxic glue, and maybe try it on your skin. And same kind of method, you kind of want to brush your brows in whatever way you want them to go, and then you apply the glue. That's crazy. Just get a good amount. So this is for nighttime training, right? You can see there's a lot of glue, and you can see like you can do any direction that you want with glue. So again, whatever way that you want to start training your brows to go in or lay in or behave in, that's the way you should brush the glue onto your brows. So this is just an example I'm showing you guys. And this would be a great solution for nighttime training. You can see like the brow from the glue is completely on that skin. Like I don't even really need to roll and hold. I just used a spoolie and dragged it through. Now, why wouldn't I use this during the day? I just found that the glue can like peel. Can you see it there? It looks a bit, gets tacky, and it's not the best for makeup, and I just found it flaked sometimes, like the one time I did try it as an option. But yeah, I mean, it looks cute if that's the brow style you like, but I just feel like I can achieve this look with I enjoy using the Patrick Tar soap wax or the soap brows, and of lately I do prefer a more fluffier look, so not necessarily so stuck down to the skin. So that is a good method for PM nighttime training. Then you could go ahead and use that. I don't think you need to if you're using a glue. I've mentioned this before, but a lot of places recommend the Orbi Rock Hard Gel. This consistency is like hair gel, and it's lovely for hair. But for the brows, this was not going to train anybody's brow hair. I will give you an example. Let me get a cotton wool, and I'm going to remove my morning routine, and I'll show you guys why the Orbi. See how strong that brow gel is? Like it's right in there. Okay. And you know, I adapted the training as my hairs grew, especially from like towards the end of the year. I didn't train them as much. They were behaving much more. Like sometimes you'd get the odd naughty strand, but in general, if you've got a good surgeon who's done the incisions at a good angle, your hairs will exit or grow in the right direction, in a good direction. I'm not saying they're going to be, you know, the most flat or natural, because they are implanted eyebrows. They're different texture for one from natural eyebrow hair, and again, like I've explained before, there's a process to them. So this is the gel that I'm putting straight onto my eyebrow. And okay, so it's not sticky. You can see it lifts. So for training, it's not that strong. And I feel like, can you see how that lifted straight away? See that? It's not. And then no matter how much you roll and hold, I found, let's just try. See, it still lifts. So I don't recommend that gel for training. I recommend the KRYOLAN or a super glue if you must. But that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that explained a little bit more in how to train your implanted eyebrows.